dilaw na kulay na dilaw. Ring sa sugat na yun sa center. Tapos tinanong ko, bakit? Hindi niya daw alam anong reason. So, sigurado ko dahil nga may background ako sa medical, siguro dahil yun ay lumala na yung taas ng sugar niya, hindi niya na monitor, hindi niya nabibigyan ng gamot, nagkaroon siguro siya ng komplikasyon. Yung nerve sa paa na damage na. So, hindi niya na nararamdaman na may natapakan pala siya. So, probably, yun siguro yung nangyari. May natapakan siya, nasugat yung paa niya, maliit lang, tapos hindi niya naramdaman. Lumala. So, nagkaroon siya ng lagnat on and off, nakahiga lang siya. So, sabi ko sa kanya, so, anong plano mo? Sabi ko, pa-check na natin yan. So, pina-check namin as OPD. Chinek, binigyan, niresetahan ng gamot, tapos tinignan yung sugat, binusbos. Pero kapiranggot lang ang tinignan. Tapos, in-advise na lang kami, linis, at 7 days na gamutan ng antibiotic. After na 7 days, lumala lalo. Yung pinaka-pamamaga niya, lumaki lalo. So, sabi ko, ay, na-infect na to. Nilala ko sa emergency room. Ayun, doon nalaman lahat. Mababa pala hemoglobin, mataas masyado yung sugar, yung diabetes niya, talagang marami na komplikasyon.
Ano po yung plans ng doktor niya?
Na-refer siya sa ortho. Ang plano sa kanya ay putulin. VKA or the below the knee amputation. Hesitant din kami pumirma ng consent. Then later on, ni-refer naman siya sa plastic surgeon. Nagsabi naman sa amin na maganda pa circulation. Might as well na tulungan na lang natin yung paa, linisin, wound dressing for twice a day, then debridement as needed, religiously. So, yun ginawa namin. Twice a day kami naglilinis, tulungan kami ng husband niya, hanggang ang nangyari, gumanda, pero andun pa rin yung plan na putulin. Hanggang makita na gumaganda na, ayun, hindi na naulit yung plan nila na maputol yung paa.
Kasabay po ba nun may mga tinitake pa siyang gamot?
Bukod doon sa antibiotics, bukod sa mga gamot na binigay ng doktor sa ospital, may tinake din siya na alternative medicine, yung PPARS. May kamahalan. So, sinugal ko para, kasi kailangan kung di mo isusugal yun, baka maputulan talaga. Kasi kahit naglilinis kami ng paa, tapos nagdidibri, pero parang slow yung healing process niya. So, I tried na painumin siya at 10 tablets at AM and 10 at lunch and then 10 at the evening. And the soft gel, twice a day also. So, religiously binibigay ko yun sa kanya. Ang dati kasi dahil nag-peak yung WBC niya, medyo nag-septic siya. Sa mga nakakaalam, sabihin yung infection kumalat na sa buong katawan. Kaya nagkaroon ng problema yung kaisipan na nawala sa wisyo. Dramatically, yun yung maganda doon. Dramatically, after 1 to 2 days, parang nakitaan ko siya ng improvement. Doon, nakita namin na sa help ng antibiotic and together with PPARS, sabi ko, maganda yung kinalabasan. So, why not continue? Hanggang nakita ko rin na gumaganda yung healing process. Tapos yung WBC, nag-dramatically from 46. Imagine, 46, dramatically bumaba siya ng 39, 33, 27, 19, 15, and then 11, 9, 7. So, nakikita mo talaga yung changes na nagawa ng gamot na yun. So, yung support ng family ay mahalaga sa recover ng pasyente. So, una, yun yung talaga nakikita ko, yung support system. Then secondly, syempre, with the help of the advanced technology, like yung mga ini-introduce ng mga gamot, hindi ko pwedeng alisin yun sa scene, sa scenario. So, ako kasi, dahil nga nasa medical field ako, medyo alam ko yung mga ganyang mga alternative medicine and evidence-based ako. So, sa PPARS, sabi ko nga, maganda yung result. Ito walang harong biro to. It's not joke. Yung mo ako binayaran eh. So it's no joke. Talagang maganda yung yung nangyari sa kapatid ko, yung lalo na yung wound healing. Yun yung nakikita ko yung wound healing talaga. Nag-granulate siya, nagkaroon, gumanda yung circulation, nabuo ng laman, okay? Nagkalaman yung mga paa niya na dating wala. Makikita niyo naman sa picture, di ba? Dating wala, nagkaroon ng laman. So, na-prevent natin yung pagputol. I can say na effective. Okay, effective yung PPARS.
Ano yung ma-advise nyo sa mga patients na same case sa sister ninyo?
Okay. So, I advise them to try. Then, kagaya ko, gusto ko may ebidensya na experience ng on hand ng ate ko. So, ganun din yung papayo ko. Try to experience yung healing, try to take the medicine religiously ha. Despite medyo may konting kamahalan, but then kung titingnan mo naman yung long-term na gamutan, mas mahal yun. Tsaka hospitalization. At yung, syempre, yung recovery. Yun yung maganda doon eh. Yung recovery, mapabilis. So, try ninyo. Hello, I'm Joel Elcano. My sister, diabetic since way back 10 years up to now. Because of Simply Nature, hindi niya na kailangan mag-amputate. Yung recovery niya, yung unti-unti, nagkaroon ng maganda, nagkalaman yung kanyang mga paa. Still recovering, yet nakikita ko yung magandang bunga, and that is because of Simply Nature, PPARS, and I trust Simply Nature.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ako si Haji Norma Yusuf, taga Zamboanga City. Pero dito na ako nakatira sa Maynila. 13 pieces na bukol, pero yung mga iba maliit siya. Pero yung itong isa malaki siya, parang umabot na ata ng 3. Kaya nga ito sabi ng doktor, kailangan tanggalin na. May kaibigan ako, try ko daw itong yung PPARS. Pangalawang gabi, may naramdaman ako parang iba. Yung parang may langgam na parang gumagalaw ganyan hanggang dito, hanggang sa talambakan, ganon. Pangatlong araw ko. Parang sumakit yung dito ko, parang gusto ko talaga. Pag ko ganyan sa CR, yun parang lumabas talaga na ganyan, napakarami talaga. Siguro sunod-sunod yun, 3 araw, ganun. Tapos sabi ko, pagtapos yung dito ko, minsan yung parang, ganun-ganun ako. Parang masikip dito, parang minsan sumasakit dito ko, ganyan. Yung na ako dito, umabot na ng mga 5 days, ganyan. Parang nawala yung sakit dito, nawala siya. Parang hindi na ako ganon. Pag nagsalita ako, parang tuloy-tuloy na, wala na akong halos maramdaman. Kaya siguro, hindi ako, sabi ko, parang ayaw ko magpa-opera, siguro mayroon talagang gamot para dito. Binigay ng God. Ngayon, hanggang ngayon, parang maganda ang maganda ang pakiramdam ko. Yung high blood ko, pag parang magandang tinanggal ko na yung sa cholesterol ko, hindi na ako, pero yung sa cholesterol ko, pag tinatanggal ko yon, parang hindi, mga 2 araw, parang masama ang pakiramdam ko. Pero ito, 14 days na, ngayon 14 days na, basta 2 weeks na, hindi ako uminom ng subastatin, wala akong nararamdaman na parang maganda ang Kaya yun, ngayon bumili pa ako ulit ng tablet. Oo. Kasi sabi ko para para lumakas talaga sa akin ng Kasi nararamdaman ko talaga na maganda. At Norma Yusuf, ay bukol ako dito sa liig ko, 13 piraso. Umabot na ng 3 cm. Take ako ng PPARS 2 times, morning at saka gabi. Pag numulok ako, hindi ko na siya mararamdaman. At saka kinakapa ko siya, parang nawawala, parang wala na, hindi ko mahawakan. Hindi katulad ng dati. Salamat, Simply Nature.
I'm Sheila, and welcome to another enlightening episode of Simply Healed webinar. This program is brought to you by the collaborative efforts of Simply Nature International and Simply Healed Medical Group. We are an international distributor of food supplements derived from a unique strain of high-grade microalgae known as PPARS, which has been tried, tested, and certified proven to support not only cancer treatment, but also enhance general health and reverse metabolic illness like hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Just to recap on our last week's topic, last episode, we discussed breaking the chronic cycle. Lots of questions were asked and most importantly, answered by our experts. And this week, discover how cancer patients can benefit using PPARS, because tonight's interesting topic is entitled Cancer Remission, How to Remain Cancer-Free. Today, we'll explore the incredible potential recovery, because remission is not just a medical term. It's a powerful symbol of hope, resilience, and progress in the face of adversity. Advances in science and medicine have made remission a reality for many, even in situations thought impossible. Throughout today's session, we will dive into the latest research, share inspiring stories, and discuss practical strategies that support the journey to remission. By the end, I hope that you'll leave feeling empowered, knowing that remission is not just a possibility, but something that is within reach for many people today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Please note that we will be having an AMA or Ask Me Anything portion later. So please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. Now, leading our tonight's topic, our health experts. First off, it's an honor to present our esteemed speaker, Dr. Jansen Kalalan, a distinguished graduate of St. Luke's College of Medicine. Dr. Kalalan is a diplomate of the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine and Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. Currently serving as a consultant at renowned institutions including Alta Integrative Medicine and Wellness Complex of Perpetual Health Medical Center Las Piñas, Tree of Life Wellness Center, Centro Holistico, and Simply Healed Medical Group, where he practices integrative oncology. Now, on to our next health expert, who is a seasoned international speaker on a wide range of topics from personal success to healthcare. He is the CEO and founding director of Simply Nature International and our PPARS expert from Singapore. Let's all welcome Mr. Shyan Lim. Good evening, Sir Shyan.
Good evening, Sheila, and welcome everyone to another episode of Simply Healed. Tonight's episode is about remission, right? And that's good news. It's a good topic to talk about. The favorite segment of our program, for those who are new to us, is the Ask Me Anything segment. Actually, that's the one that I think most viewers are excited about, because you can ask us any question and we'll have a lively discussion. So if you are thinking about what is the strategy for what should I eat to keep myself healthy, when do I need to go for CT scans again after I'm declared, how shall we say, in remission? So all these questions, ask us in a few minutes, all right? But first, discussion. There will be a short discussion, and I'll hand the time back to Sheila, who will guide us through the segment. I'll see everyone in the Ask Me Anything segment right after this.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. All right, well, once again, as Mr. Shyan said, it's not too late to take the first step towards a stronger and healthier you, most especially in your cancer journey. Now, let's all take time to watch our video.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jhen, and you're watching another episode of Simply Healed webinar. Today, we're going to talk about the part of a cancer journey that doesn't get enough attention. And it should, because it's a part of the cancer journey that's full of celebration, which is the remission. In fact, a few episodes ago, we talked about what to do when you're in the middle of cancer. So if you missed that, just go to our YouTube page and look for that topic. But remission means that the doctor can no longer detect signs of cancer in your body. It's a huge relief. It marks the end of your active treatment, what your oncologist can do for you. But if you or someone close to you has gone through this, you'll know the struggle doesn't end there. Why? Even after the cancer is gone, many people still feel weak, tired, not quite themselves. They expect to feel normal again, but instead their body feels stuck in low gear. Now, this is not just isolated to cancer. Those of us who have recovered from COVID-19, I think many of us actually experience this thing called long COVID, right? Where we have lower levels of energy, fatigue, and a high propensity to develop cardio issues. So there are after effects of even successfully battling with disease. Now, why is today's topic so important? Because in remission, it means that the doctor cannot detect cancer in your body. It does not mean that your body is free from cancer cells. It simply means that it's too small to be detected, which means you can celebrate, but the fight is not over. Also, and during remission, your body still needs time to support to rebuild its strength. And that's important because the fight is not over. Managing fatigue and regaining vitality. And there are natural ways to help that process along. Not to replace your treatment, but to support your body as it finds its rhythm again. Today, I'll walk you through those key areas and a little bit about how Simply Nature PPARS can play a helpful role in the recovery process. For many people, the answer is not so clear. You've gone through the toughest part, chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. But even after the treatment ends, fatigue lingers, energy stays low, body feels slow to bounce back. I think that is even more true in a post-COVID pandemic world, where most of us are feeling the effects of fatigue. But here's the good news. There are things you can do to start rebuilding your strength and getting back your energy. So today I'm going to share a few simple, practical concepts that have helped so many others go through this, from constant tiredness to feeling more stable, more alert, and more active, again, step by step. This talk isn't about big promises, it's about understanding what's going on in your body and how to support it naturally, especially after intense treatments like chemotherapy and radiation therapy. There are three main areas we will look into when someone's energy is low after cancer treatment. Understanding these can help you support your body more intentionally. Number one, cellular exhaustion. Cancer treatment affects your entire system. Cells that were stressed now need time and support to get back to proper function. That's why we often see people experience long-term tiredness. Their cells are trying to process toxins, rebuild, and get back into balance. The body wants to recover, but it's running low on fuel. Some turn to nutrient-rich plant extracts like Simply Nature PPARS, which provide support at a cellular level. They help your body manage inflammation, regulate energy, and clear out waste more efficiently. Now, when we say that Simply Nature works at a cellular level, this is actually very literal. Okay, if you were to look up PPARS, peroxisome proliferator activated receptors, or PPARS, you will realize they are transcription factors. So they actually work at the cellular level, at the same level as mRNA vaccines. Okay, they actually give instructions, they facilitate instructions that cascade. That means they are the starting point of your body building other parts of the immune system, the metabolic system, inflammatory response. Another important part is Simply Nature PPARS or PPAR agonists actually facilitate cell delineation. It means it regulates the proper maturation or the development of your cells. And if you are a cancer patient, you know cancer in the first place is when a cell doesn't develop properly. So now that you have successfully fought and defeated cancer, you want to make sure that your body's cells develop and mature properly, right? And Simply Nature PPARS can actually facilitate that process. That's why PPAR is great. PPAR tablets are often taken and suggested and encouraged for children who are growing up, because when a child grows up, there's a lot of cells multiplying, right? Because they are growing. And this is where you want to make sure every cell is growing correctly and properly. And that's why Simply Nature PPAR tablets are one of the best supplements for kids. And that also works for you as a cancer patient recovering after remission. Point number two, nutritional absorption. After treatment, the digestive system can be very sensitive, especially if you've been taking oral chemotherapy. So your digestive system actually underwent the chemotherapy with the rest of your body or was the first to experience the effect of the chemotherapy. Even if when you eat well, your body may not absorb nutrients properly anymore. Some people use digestive-friendly superfoods or functional foods that are easy on the gut but rich in bioactive compounds. These are not only nourishing to the body but also support better absorption. So you get more from what you eat. We'll touch on how PPARS play a role in this later during the AMA. Just ask the right questions, especially when it comes to metabolic balance. Last but not least, we're going to talk always about inflammation. Even after cancer is treated, the body may still be dealing with inflammation. In fact, for sure, your body is dealing with chronic inflammation because the entire process of cancer treatment creates lots of inflammation in your body, and probably for most of us right now, post-pandemic, post-COVID pandemic, we already have chronic inflammation and our body is more prone to having inflammation. So if you're also having undergone cancer treatment, this inflammatory issue is going to be something that you really want to address. Now, there are many supplements out there like vitamin C, vitamin D, E, multivitamins. These are great as antioxidants, but Simply Nature PPAR protocols do more than that. It actually targets inflammatory response. So you want to do something about how your body responds to inflammation. You know, after COVID-19, there is this chronic fatigue, and that's really because of chronic inflammation. So something is off balance on how our body actually manages inflammation, which results in you constantly being inflamed, right? And that creates that fatigue. Even after cancer is treated, the body needs to learn how to deal with inflammation. Okay? Simple habits like hydration, drinking water, light movement. Why is movement important? Movement causes circulation. So when you circulate your blood and your lymphatic systems, things move, right? And that's why drinking water is important, because water is like it's a medium. It carries out the waste products, and that helps to relieve inflammation. And of course, again, anti-inflammation nutrition can help reduce this internal drag, right? I see inflammation also like something that pulls you down, ties up the resources in your body, okay? So, if you are finished with treatment but still feel far from yourself, please know this. You're not alone, and there are things you can do to help your body feel stronger again. Recovery isn't about waiting, all right? It's about supporting your body with what it needs, gently, naturally, and consistently. So that's what Simply Nature PPARS are designed to do, offer you safe plant-based support that works at the level your body understands, your cells, your energy, and your immunity. If something I shared today got you thinking, maybe about why you still feel tired and what your next step should be, then this is the perfect time to ask. Once again, I'm Jhen, and let's move into our next segment, which is the Ask Me Anything segment, right?
Thank you so much, Sir Shyan Lim. I am so sure that our viewers have learned so much from that discussion and has come up with so much question in their mind. Well, good news, because we are now in the AMA or Ask Me Anything portion. So let's not keep you waiting. I can see some questions are coming in privately as well. And now to answer your questions in this modern world filled with noise of different health opinions, trust the ones from the experts. To answer our questions tonight, once again, I'd like to call on our health experts, our lifestyle medicine doctor and integrative oncology specialist, Dr. Jansen and our CEO and PPARS expert from Singapore, Mr. Shyan Lim. Good evening, Sir Shyan, and good evening, Dr. Jansen.
Good evening, Sheila. Good evening, Doc. For those of you who are regulars on our program, just want to remind you, if you want to see Doc Jansen in person, see me in person, also one of the top surgeons in Metro Manila, Dr. Jimmy Katapia, then join us on June 7th. It's a Saturday morning at SMX Aura. we will all be there, and there will actually be a panel, right? There will be I think almost 45 minutes or 1 hour long Ask Me Anything segment, but the difference is that it's live, so you don't have to type. You can interact with the speakers. You can see Dr. Jansen in person, see me and Dr. Jimmy in person as well. All right, so we are happy to answer all your questions to the best of our ability. Let me hand the time back as Sheila guides us in this segment.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. Well, good evening, Doc Jansen. It's nice to see you today.
Evening. Happy to see you too.
Yeah, happy to see all of us. Hallelujah.
All right. Well, I'm sure that our viewers are excited. I have now our first question tonight, which actually this question was thrown to us last week during our previous webinar. So it's coming from Ms. Ritz Melendez. Question is, I'm done with my 6th chemo, but my tumor didn't shrink at all or even reduce its size. Got a problem with my inflamed lymph node in my armpit. It's so painful. What can you suggest?
Yeah, okay. So for cancer patients, actually this is not so it's a common thing to see. Okay, it's a common thing to see. So in this challenge that you are experiencing, no, it's something that you are not alone in. Now, let me just explain why this is the case, no. Now, a tumor has cancer cells. Now, a single cancer cell, when it divides, no, it mutates. So, I'll give you an example, no. Say, for example, it starts as a single cancer cell. So let's name that cancer cell A. So, cancer cells divide again and again and again, repeatedly, without any regulation, without any control. So, they would now produce, say for example, 2 more cells, no? Another cancer cell A, and when it divides, it can produce another cancer cell named AB. Okay. Now, this happens in perpetuity until you pass away. Okay, as long as you live, or until you cut it out, it's gonna divide. All right. So with this, then you would have, in a single tumor, you would have different kinds of cancer cells. So a group of cancer cells would be named A, another group would be named AB, another group would be named C, another group would be named D. So your chemotherapy is a medication that is targeted. Okay, it targets specific cells in a specific part of the cell cycle. Okay, so the cell cycle is the process where cells divide and multiply. Okay, so now when you give chemotherapy to a cancer patient, one reason why the tumor doesn't shrink at all is the chemotherapy didn't work, which means the cancer is resistant to the chemotherapy. Okay, or the cancer, some cancer cells would have died, right? Because it's chemotherapy. However, because it's cancer, and if it is aggressive enough, it would have divided in such a way that it replaced the cancer cells that was killed by the chemo.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's like in Tagalog, it's like dagdag bawas. So example, the chemotherapy killed 100 cancer cells, but since the cancer is, it's aggressive, the cancer just replaced that 100 cancer cells which was killed by the chemo by another 100 new cancer cells. Okay, so that's one reason. Another reason is the chemotherapy worked. It's just that the tumor now was sterilized enough that it became a scar. Okay? Yeah, so these things happen. Now, for a cancer patient, the goal is actually not to shrink the tumor. It's actually to deactivate the cancer cells so that they don't divide again.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah, so that's the first goal that we have. But of course, if we see a shrinkage of the tumor, then that's the best.
That's the best.
That's the bonus. I mean, that's the best that we can get, right?
Mm.
However, since again, no, a tumor is a part of your body that has mutated. So that is what cancer is. Now, this, if it is sufficiently large, no, it is a tumor. You cannot use chemotherapy or any other thing to shrink it that it goes back to how it was before. It won't happen because it's a lump. It's a lump of abnormal cells. The best that you can do for it is to make it into a scar.
Okay.
The medical term is fibrosis. Anyway, the goal is, no, yes, we can shrink it, reduce the size, but the ultimate goal is for not the cancer to continue on dividing. Okay, so let me just diverge from the question. So there is another situation where in patients, I finished, my first set of chemotherapy, 6 cycles done, didn't work, tumor still there. So my oncologist changed my chemotherapy. We saw some result. It shrank, but after finishing all sessions, and after a few months of finishing the second set of chemo, the tumor began increasing in size again. So some patients give up at this point. I just want to encourage you guys, please don't give up during this point. The reason being is, again, a tumor consists of different kinds of cancer. So you have a family of cancer, but there are different brothers and sisters of cancer there. So one brother might be resistant to that chemotherapy that you first used, but it might be sensitive to another. So don't give up or stop midway. You have to carry on with the treatment. And of course, we understand that it's the side effects that you do not want. That's why we have here, that's why we're doing this program to help you guys with the side effects. All right? Especially with the product like Simply Nature.
Excellent.
I just want to encourage, Doc, I also have a follow-up question to you actually. So to a cancer patient, right, Doc, if at what point we would like to understand, like for the oncologist, at what point do they realize that maybe this set of chemotherapy doesn't work and they will try another set. So I guess for a patient, there are maybe just some understanding. Do you really have to finish all your cycles to see the chemotherapy work? Or do you know that this chemotherapy is not working already, even before you finish your prescribed cycles? Like, if the test is to do 8 times, right? Maybe after 4 times, can we know after 4 times that, this is not working anymore? Or do we have to finish all 8 to know that it's not working? Yeah.
Very good question. Actually, we can actually know. So typically, oncologists prescribe 6, 8, 12 cycles of chemotherapy, some 16. No, now the oncologist would, of course, want to know if the chemotherapy is working or not.
Yes.
And waiting for all. Okay, let's just be conservative here. Say, for example, it's 4 cycles that they advised you with, or 6 cycles. Let's just get 6, and that 6 cycles would be given over a period of 18 weeks. Say, for example, it's 1 cycle for 3 weeks. No, so it's 18 weeks. 18 weeks is like what? 4.5 months.
Yeah.
So 4.5 months is too long. Yeah. So at some point, you would want to know if what you're giving the patient is working or not. So how do we know this? How do we doctors? What do we look for? Number 1, size. If the tumor is increasing in size,
then
chemotherapy is not working. It's not working. Definitely, of course, it's not working.
But it's not growing. Like this patient case, she said the tumors didn't shrink. But that's an important fact also, the tumors didn't grow bigger.
Didn't grow bigger, yes. So the tumor not growing or staying at the same size is a response.
Okay, it's a neutral response. Is it neutral positive or neutral or?
It is a positive response.
Okay, because
it is a positive response. Yeah, because it's not growing. So to some degree, the chemotherapy used Yeah. Okay. It's just that it was not powerful.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I,
Yeah. So there is one test. So how did I realize this? No, how did I realize this? There's one test which shows us the different sensitivity of different medications, natural extracts to cancer cells, to a
mm,
patient's cancer cell. So you
mm,
would find there different medications, different extracts, natural extracts, and their degree of effectivity against the cancer. So you would know different extracts would give different response. Yeah. So this is how I knew, and this is how I was able to arrive at the answer of for the question of Miss Ritz.
all right. So back
Mhm.
to Doc Johnson's to support what Doc Johnson is sharing, he said don't give up. Don't give up. So to patients who are watching us, I think the hardest part of not giving up is that, it's also very difficult, right? So what is so important that when you're undergoing cancer treatment, you should get support. All right. So you should do what you can to make sure that you go through that cancer journey, protecting as much of your body as possible, and also helping your own body to fight cancer. So you can do that a few ways. Number one, lifestyle. If you want a lifestyle adjustment, knowing what to eat, how much exercise to do, yeah, things like that, please make an appointment with Dr. Johnson. The next thing you can do is to take the appropriate supplements, things like Simply Nature PPARS. So, I'm sure when you were first diagnosed with cancer, you might have asked your oncologist, what's the best supplement apart from the medication you're going to give me that will help me in my fight against cancer? So many oncologists still do not know. Over this year and next year, more and more of them will know about Simply Nature, PPAR protocols. And for those of you who like us to talk to your oncologist so that they will understand what you're trying to do, please let us know. We actually have medical representative teams who specialize in presenting to doctors. So that way your doctor will be comfortable with what you're doing. All right. Okay. Our products are actually tested with chemotherapy drugs, cisplatin, oxaliplatin. But the mechanism works across the board. We protect the body's mitochondrial functions, your healthy cells. So one thing important is that your RBC count, WBC count will be maintained or kept healthier, right? So this will allow you to complete your cancer journey with your oncologist as you try different chemotherapy drugs or innovative drugs that will finally match and give you the victory that you want. So what Dr. said is don't give up. The other portion is that along the way, your chemotherapy or radiation treatments have certain positive effects. So combine it with good lifestyle, natural supplements. You never know how your body kicks in. You never know what's the one that turns the tide and gives you the victory towards cancer. So again, before you give up on conventional medicine, have a consult. I'm sure one of the reasons why some viewers want to give up on chemotherapy is because maybe it's not so easy to talk to your uncle. Talking to Doc Johnson is much easier. You understand more and you're encouraged more. So you can always have a consult with Doc Johnson. He will be able to guide you through that process. And those of you who are looking for natural approaches, I'm not making promises here. I'm just sharing that there are cancer patients who don't opt for chemotherapy usually it's because of their age. They're a bit on the older side, right? And they want to go natural. So we've had a good measure of success with them as well. Some of them are actually Doc Johnson's patients also. However, we believe on this program, take the best of both worlds, right? So if you can still continue conventional together with the natural approaches. The best person to talk to combine that will be Dr. Johnson. All right? Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Now, I just
Mm.
want to say, for those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen Kalalan, just simply type in how to consult. Our caring HTS or healthcare specialists will definitely get in touch with you individually. All right. So just before we go to our next question, I just want to greet very quickly our viewers for tonight, starting off with Miss Mavs Agot. Hello po. Karen Aumentado, Leo Ocampo, Bato Rosas, Eden Storne, Earl Halos, and I'd like to give a shout out to Ms. Doctora Mary Grace Lim Kalala. And thank you for watching tonight. All right. So for our next question tonight, coming from Ms. Mavs Agot. Doc, I just have a question because I am under monitoring right now and with the help of PPARS. Now, it's I have already done 2 MRI and it resulted to negative. So that's a good thing.
Wow, good news.
Thank you, Lord. Now, the question is there any side effects whenever a patient undergoes MRI with contrast?
Yes,
Question.
that's why you undergo clearance before you undergo the MRI with the contrast. The main, no, the major side effects of the contrast is number one would be it is nephrotoxic, so it can harm your kidneys. Yeah, it can. That's why you have to have a normal creatinine level before you undergo the scan, right? So that's the one, no, that's the first one. Number two is you can develop allergies from you can have an allergic reaction from the contrast. So that's why, you know, when you are being given the contrast, there is a medical team there, no, on site,
Wow.
monitoring you. Okay.
Wow.
Now, as far as the contrast goes, no, these are the two major side effects or adverse reactions that you can have. The more common one would be the kidneys, but it doesn't happen to everyone. Okay, even with the kidneys, it's quite uncommon.
Okay.
But of course, we have to first know that you have a working normal kidney function before you undergo the scan. Now, in case a patient comes in, okay, you have an elevated creatinine level, then you have to go see a nephrologist before you undergo the scan so that the nephro, you know, would be able to try to lower the creatinine first, or probably have the best assessment or evaluation to say whether you or not you are fit to undergo the scan. Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I think the MRI without contrast doesn't have side effects, right?
No, it doesn't, because it's
Yeah.
just
Just
you
magnetic
just
waves,
magnet, yeah.
resonance. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So just for everybody, so that the other viewers don't get freaked out. Okay. Yes, actually, MRI is one of the safer ways of imaging compared to X-ray. Okay, it's just this one is with contrast. That means they either you drink or they inject something in you, so
They
that they inject
inject.
something in you so that it will show up even clearer. All right. So that is the thing that they inject in you that will stress out your kidney. So doc, even for people who are healthy, it is just something that stresses the kidney, like drinking a lot of alcohol stresses the kidney.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
try to avoid that if you can. Now, another good thing, again, this is why it's so important, our strategy here today is, and in Singapore, this is really something that is growing. In the past, people always take conventional medicine and then just conventional medicine. I think today everybody is understanding a little bit more that if I take conventional medicine, I have to watch my diet and everything I can do something to combat all the listed side effects of particular drugs, right? So if you take a drug, every time you take a medication, it has its function. That's why you take it. There is more benefits in your particular illness than the danger it may present as a side effect. So what you can always do is learn what kind of side effects for the drugs that you take, and then do things to help clear it, right? So like if you take contrast, MRI of contrast, I assume after that, doc, a good idea is to drink more water, right? Simple thing to flush it out, right? See, so there are things that you can do. There are things that we can understand, right? To help our body recover from these side effects. Now, another thing that you can do for kidney and liver is Simply Nature PPARS is an incredible kidney or liver aid, right? It's really, really, really good for that. So you can always like get a blister of soft gel capsule, pop like 3-4 the day before and after you do the MRI scan, right? So the contrast, because the contrast is not it's not so much of an active reaction of your body, but I assume it's technically it reacts with the magnetic resonance more to show up. Is that what it does, Doc?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, if you take supplements and things to protect your kidney and liver, it won't diminish the effect of the contrast. But it will help your liver and kidney displace the contrast. So your fear of the contrast having a negative impact on you is lessened because you're actually doing something to clean it up. So of course, in general, people take things like chlorophyll, right? All these things to help you detox. Right now, a very effective one is actually Simply Nature PPAR tablets and soft gel capsules. That will really help you. You can get a blister specifically for your MRI contrast. You know, take 4 the day before, 4 the day that you do it, and just finish off the blister. It's like, yeah, it's like something that you can do to, like, drinking more water to flush out the thing from your kidney, right? You're taking this to protect yourself, to reduce the inflammation, to protect your kidneys and liver functions, right? So there you go.
Thank you,
All
Doc.
right.
Doc, very, very quickly, because this is about MRI. It's the same answer goes for CT scan with contrast,
Oh,
correct?
CT scan is different from MRI, ah?
Yes.
Yep, different. The contrast is also different, but both contrasts for MRI and CT scan, they are being eliminated through the kidneys, so both can be toxic to the kidneys. Okay, so that's why we always get a clearance first from the nephro. Make sure creatinine is normal before you undergo those procedures.
All right. Thank you. Very, very clear.
Doc,
Go ahead,
CT
sir.
scan is a lot more damaging to the body than MRI? Or is it also safe?
CT scan per se, but well,
Yeah,
comparing the two, no, because CT scan has radiation exposure.
radiation
MRI
definitely
doesn't really
doesn't have
have
radiation.
any exposure to radiation. It's just
Yeah,
magnets
correct, correct.
rearranging your hydrogen
Yeah.
molecules.
Maybe only
It's the
claustrophobia.
CT
That's
scan.
the only thing that will
Yeah,
affect.
claustrophobia. Yeah, but
Yeah.
the machines like themselves, no, CT scan would have more harm because of the radiation. But even the radiation from the CT scan is quite low.
Okay.
It won't have any adverse reactions to your body.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
You-
Doc. Thank you, Sir Shyan. And for our next question, well, this question was thrown to us by one of our registrants named Miss Ara from Makati. So the question is, they have a family history of lung cancer and breast cancer. They also have a history of PCOS, radiculopathy, and myoma. The question is, are they all connected to each other?
Oh, very good question. Okay, so let's answer the first one first. So, you have a strong family history of breast and lung cancer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The answer is yes. It can increase your risk of developing these cancers. Yeah, you can get genetic testing or counseling, of course. Uh, however, what is more important is to focus on lifestyle.
Mm.
Okay, what is more important is to focus on lifestyle.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
during this stage, no, what can you do? Okay, let's be more specific. What tests can you do
Mhm.
to make sure that you get the earliest possible detection of cancer, if ever you get one. Okay, because if you're just focusing on genetics, then
Yeah.
the genes, you can't really do anything about it. All right, but unless you can't really do anything about it because it's genes. Your lifestyle though can influence the genes being turned on and off, but it takes a long time. It takes a very strict diet. We're going to go to that later because it has something to do with your gut microbiota. Okay,
Oh,
so let's
okay.
go back. Let's go back. What can you do so that you can get the earliest possible detection of cancer? So aside from the usual imaging, so your ultrasound, mammography, your these things, no. Aside from that, you can actually do a screening called OncoDeclare. So OncoDeclare is a test done by RGCC. So RGCC is a laboratory testing facility in Greece. Okay, they have an office in Singapore, and the Singapore team handles the tests in the whole of Southeast Asia. So they have a team here in the Philippines. Now, the OncoDeclare. So what does it detect? It detects your white blood cells. Now, the white blood cells are your soldiers, no, of the body. So whatever it is fighting, say for example, an infection, autoimmune disease, or whatever, cancer, no, it will manifest certain genes. It will show certain genes. It will turn on certain genes to fight off whatever it is fighting. So if it is cancer, so say for example, the onco-declare result comes out positive. So this means that your white blood cells currently is fighting cancer. How accurate is this? It's 93% accurate. So the sample that we're getting here is your blood. So we get a sample of your blood. We isolate the white blood cells. Then we take a look at the white blood cells if they are manifesting weapons against cancer. If they are manifesting weapons against cancer, then you must have cancer. Next step would be to check where the cancer is. If it is at all will appear on an imaging.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's something that you can get as early as even when you have negative imaging studies right now. Okay. So next question. Now, you get a genetic testing. So say, yeah, positive genes for cancer, you have high risk, but you got the onco-declare test. Let's say, for example, it's negative. So at this point, your immune system is not fighting any cancers, but you have the genes for the cancer. What can you do? Okay, so lifestyle. We go for lifestyle. So food first, no? For reducing risk for cancer, the default diet should be a plant predominant diet. It should be fiber heavy. You have to exercise. You have to sleep adequately. Avoid vices. Okay. They also have to, as much as you can, use products that are organic, free from fragrances, all these things that we have toxic nowadays. So let's just focus on the diet, on the food, because this is the biggest impact. How then do you know if the food that you're eating would fit your genetic profile? Okay, so we have something what we call as your a test. No, the test is named as your gut map. So your gut map is a gut microbiota test. So it looks at your gut microbiota, how diverse your gut microbiota is, and where it is inadequate. It can actually recommend certain foods that can correct the inadequacies so that your gut microbiota will look like the gut microbiota of a 20-year-old person, of a healthy person. All right. So for the list of foods, so it gives you a 60-page report, 60-page, 60. It's a long report. Now, of course, no patient would read all 60 pages cover to cover unless you have the time and you have the patience to do it. So what we do with the 60 pages is we use AI or artificial intelligence to process the data and create you a meal plan. So what you follow is the meal plan. So how often do you need to get tested so that you know if the gut microbiota has been corrected already? Okay. The manufacturers recommend at least a period of 3 to 6 months before you have a retest. But once you have the food already, once you follow the food already, retests doesn't need to be done as frequent. Okay, so if ever you would want to have a retest, they recommend a period of between 3 to 6 months of interval. Yeah, so that test is your gut map. Okay.
Doc, is it like
Yeah.
taken through blood extraction, or do they have to submit a specimen for this?
Okay, good question. I forgot to tell you the sample for this. The sample for your gut map is a sample of your stool, sample of your feces. So a simple sample from a tissue paper would be enough. So you don't have to scoop something out from the toilet bowl or catch something directly when it comes out. So tissue paper would be enough, no? Yeah. So from this, no, from this thing that you from the data that you get from this test, the mean plan, you would now be able to uh, improve your gut microbiota, and your gut microbiota would help uh, turn off the genetic factors from the risk of the cancer risks. Okay, so that is one way to make sure that whatever you're eating is designed for you. So this is personalized medicine. This is what we call as personalized medicine already. Yeah.
Very interesting. Sir Sean, would you like to add anything for
Yeah,
prevention?
I think the important thing is, uh, I mean, I've had similar discussions with Dr. Jansen, I think 4 years ago, about the thing here is this, it goes back to you as a patient, right? You know, because many patients do all the tests, right? And then they never follow the meal plan. So so today I want to highlight something that Dr. Jansen said, so that maybe you will have more reasons to follow the advice or when you do such diagnostic tests, or when you go and see Dr. Jansen. Dr. Jansen did mention this thing called epigenetics just now. Just because you're born with a gene doesn't mean that the gene is switched on. So for example, being alcoholic is, I think it's part mental, part physiological. That means you may have a propensity once you start drinking alcohol to get addicted to it really quickly, right? So, but you do realize, right? If you have an alcoholic gene, but if you never touch alcohol, you won't become an alcoholic, right? So if you know your father is alcoholic, your uncle's alcoholic, your grandfather's alcoholic, your grandma's alcoholic, you know what? You can't even take your first cup of, you can't even take one soju, one vodka, you can't take bourbon coke, you can't even take a San Miguel, like not even once. Not even once. Why? Because you have the genes for it, and when you take it, maybe that's all it takes, right? One drink and wow, you're hooked on it. You just naturally love the high that it gives you. Your body craves for it. So the way to avoid it, if you know you come from an alcoholic family, is not to even drink. And as long as you don't drink, you won't have that craving, because you've never tasted it, your body never experienced the craving, right? So this is just an illustration of, you can be born with cancer genes, propensity for this and that. But if you don't trigger the thing, then it will never come. And Dr. Jansen did have a discussion on this topic before. If you are that generation that stays cancer-free, you actually could possibly break that gene in your family gene pool, you know. And if your child also stays cancer-free, then the chance that within this 2 generations, your future generations won't have the cancer gene being passed down. So these things can really be permanently switched off as well. So the key here is don't trigger it. Don't trigger it. Now, even before you go for the testing that Dr. Jansen says, right? Common sense will tell you what? Eat less meat. Dr. Jansen always share plant-based whole food. Do things that avoid inflammation. So eating lots of chocolates, potato chips, popcorn, soft drinks. You know yourself, these are not great. And next is when it comes, this is my advice for supplements. When you take supplements, like for example, if you take Simply Nature PPARS tablets, right? Talk to the HCS, the CSOs, the customer service, talk to Dr. Jansen. So after you've been on it for 1 month, 2 months, right? You should be able to see the benefits. So sometimes you may not be aware what benefits until somebody asks you, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is that, to everyone, is that find something that works for you, and then keep with that, right? Keep with that, right? Just, yeah. And Dr. Jansen's sharing about the principle behind him sharing about the diagnostics test is very simple. You got to find something that works for you, and the test help you isolate it. And then even if the test says yes, right, you got to take it and you got to see results and then stick with it if it's good for you. All right. Yeah. Okay. So back to the original question. Yeah, they are related, right? So how do you avoid tumors from growing, you really have to reduce inflammation, right? So stop taking all those junk food and everything. Eat more healthily, eat more plant-based. That's a good start. Doc, you mentioned it's really amazing. I understand the white blood cell test, right? And that means you can detect cancer before the cancer develops into tumor in the
Yes,
early
correct.
stage, which means you just need to take supplements. Don't even take, there is no drugs for you to take because you are technically not stage 1 cancer even, but they already detected a cancer cell. And if you have a family history, wait, so doc, how often should a person take that? I asked this question because guys, don't worry, you don't have to take it every week or every month, because it doesn't take it doesn't take 1 week or 1 month to develop cancer. Cancer actually has to grow over a long period of time. But of course, the moment they grow into a tumor, it's called a doubling time, right? To double 2 centimeters is 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters double 8 centimeters. So it looks like the cancer is growing very fast. But you have to understand, from very, very small to double to very, very small to double to very, very small, that whole process until it's measurable actually takes a long time. So doc, what is a safe interval for a person who has this family history? How often should they take this test? Once a year? Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough. So the OncoDeclare test, again, it detects white blood cells and find out if they have weapons against cancer. Okay.
Doc,
Now,
important question. How much? How much?
yeah, I'll disclose the price a little bit later. So
Okay.
this test, if it comes out negative in the first time, you can have it, you can undergo this test once a year. Once a year would be fine. Okay. So the price of this test is, I'll say it in Sing dollars because they are charging in Sing dollars.
Then
Okay.
I'll convert it for you. I'm
Yeah.
Singaporean, so I can do the conversion.
Yeah, so reason why I am disclosing this in Sing dollars because we might have patients who are watching abroad.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So later on, I'm going to tell you the price in Philippine peso for for patients here in the Philippines. So on to declare test in Sing dollars, it costs 1,672 Sing dollars.
Okay, so that's about 60,000-70,000 pesos. About
Yeah, yeah. So
60,000 pesos.
in peso, that is 74,963. So let's just say it's 75,000. That's the price. Okay.
So that's the
Yeah.
price of your family trip to Japan. All right. So okay. So now that you know the price, and just keep checking, because I'm sure when it comes to diagnostics, the prices do come down when the technology and more people use, right? Okay, so that's one. So as we go, I think this is a really something that can be done. Should be done once. If you're that worried, then at least you have the peace of mind. Because here's the thing, something that I guess you might not know. It takes a long time, years, for cancer to actually develop, right? In most cases, of course, there are always uncommon cases, but in most cases, it takes years for cancer to develop into a tumor that you can detect. Okay, so you don't have to think that, oh, I have to do this test every 6 months or anything. No, right? And if you live a very, very healthy lifestyle, right, guess what? You probably can take this test. You aim to take this test during Christmas. So this year you tell everybody, I'm not buying presents for you because I need to go for a test. All right. And then you have the peace of mind. And then after that, I would say, if budget is really a constraint for you, the next time you feel something's wrong and you're really worried, then you can go for the test. If not, maybe once every few years, or anytime you feel especially fatigued or something. So again, you don't wait until the tumor grows and then it is actual cancer. This is the beautiful thing. Thank you, Doc, for sharing this. I think this is really interesting. This is what we call, really, prevention is better than cure. It is so easy to reverse it when you are in stage 0 or stage 1. Okay, the success rate for breast cancer for stage 1 is like 95%. That means 95% chance of the people actually totally survive stage 1 breast cancer. So you want to be able to catch cancer early. And I think this is the strategy going forward because most of us are going to live longer and longer. So the longer you live, the higher chance that you actually see cancer in your life, right? So during that time when you're in your 70s, so this is part of retirement planning now. We go to financials, right? I guess, Doc, thank you for bringing this up. I get the budget lah. That means every year you have the budget about $1,000 over dollars, $2,000 to go for regular tests, especially when you cross 65, maybe. Yeah, then you will be able to catch cancer very early and make adjustments, and you never actually develop cancer. All right, so this is very important, guys. The reason is statistics have shown anybody born after 1965, which is most of us. I know it's Dr. Jansen because he's younger than me. I'm born 1974, right? Those who are born after 1965, there was a British research that said 50% of them, of the people born after 1965 in Britain, will develop cancer. Wow, that's a huge statistics at some point of their life, okay? Again, just to let everybody know how prevalent cancer is. In Singapore, when you take an insurance, your insurance coverage for cancer is 2 times. That means they expect you to survive the first bout of cancer and that you will get a second time cancer. So again, everybody don't be too discouraged. This is something that's really happening across the world, and there are solutions, which is why we have this program. And again, this program is, remember guys, this program is just to help you understand, to take the next step. The next step is to have an appointment with Dr. Jansen, right? Have a consult with Dr. Jansen. Speak to one of our CSOs to learn more. Okay, this is just to give you the background so that you know where to go, because sometimes we have no idea where to go. We don't know who to trust, who is a good oncologist, who is what. Yeah, but in our conversation tonight, I think you can see who Dr. Jansen is, what he knows, where we are coming from, and I hope that allows you to take that next first step on your fight to prevent cancer and to stay cancer free for those of you who have already beaten cancer. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir
Ciela?
Shyan. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Both your answers are very encouraging and interesting as well for our viewers. Thank you. Now, for our next question, it is coming from our YouTube, because we are also live streaming over there. So it's coming from a person named Funny Lola. Okay, so the question is, good evening. Thank you for organizing live webinars. You're welcome. Now, I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 1A in 2015. I had mastectomy, no other therapy, but went into a vegan diet and took natural supplements such as turmeric and wheatgrass. Survive and free, but not until now that I can feel a lump on my left breast this time. I also feel pain on my breast at my back. On my breast and at my back. Sometimes I haven't undergone any checkup yet because of fears. Which of your products can I take at this moment?
Okay, I'll answer first. Okay, number 1, don't be afraid. Go for a checkup. Okay, before you even go for the checkup, you can already take I would say just PPAR tablets first. All right. You probably don't have anything, okay? Fear is terrible. And again, remember how successful you were, right? When you had cancer stage 1A, you beat it. That was 2015, 10 years ago. So don't just remember how, if you detect it early, you will beat it. So don't be afraid. Just want to encourage you, don't be afraid. And actually you have nothing to be afraid because you've beaten it before. Right, so yeah, it's like catching a flu. You catch it before, you got well. So this time around, you'll get well as well. You learn from the success of your first time. You caught it early, which is why you successfully beat cancer. You have to catch it early in case. And anyway, Doc will share with you, there are probably many reasons why you have that pain. But get it over with. Go and yeah, I'll leave it to Doc now.
Yeah, actually, I totally agree with what Shan said. Uh, at least for now, at least the tablets, but ultimately you have to get checked
Yeah.
because the pain will only get worse, and anxiety because of the pain will only get worse. No, first thing I believe you know it in your heart that It might be pain from the cancer, but what if it is not? What if it is arthritis, just a simple arthritis because of your age, right?
Or
So
wrong sleeping position and muscle
it
spasm.
can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be. So you have to get checked in order for you to know. Yeah,
Mm.
it's not gonna you're not gonna get an answer. You're just not going to the professionals. So yeah, so from here on, if you want to take that step, where would you where what doctor should you go to? No,
Ah, okay.
if you have the lump,
Mm.
okay, you can go to a surgeon. You can come to me if my clinic is near your place.
Mm.
A physical exam has to be done on the
Mm.
lump, on
Mm.
the left breast.
Mm.
Okay, so that's the first one. Number two is for you to get an ultrasound and a mammogram
Mm.
to check if the lump has characteristics of cancer or not. Yeah.
Mm.
So if from then on, no, from then we can decide if a biopsy is needed or not. Okay, and from then on, no, from your doctor visit, we would also be able to know if the pain is coming from joint pains or is it something more sinister. All right. So depending on the tests, depending on the tests results, but ultimately you have to get checked really, and of course pain relievers. The doctor would be able to know what kind of pain relievers would be good to give you, so for the pain. But for now, what you can take would be paracetamol and yeah, just the tablets, PPARS tablets, at least those two. Yeah, until you get seen by your doctor.
And it, and I just want to say, if anybody, if like, if I hope, right, if you go and if anybody advises you to take some supplements naturally, and then you don't have to worry about it, don't listen to that person, even if that person means well. That is not good advice, right? Because you are a cancer survivor, so your risk of cancer is always much higher than anyone, and you have successfully beat cancer. You know the strategy. Catch it early. Don't let it even go any more serious, and you will defeat it again. You will be successful. Your body has beaten cancer once. It is trained to go after that cancer. Okay, but sometimes as we grow older, we just need to give it a bit of help, right? And there are so many things that we can do now to help you win that fight, right? So go for the test, all right? Yeah, you can take Simply Nature People tablets, but I will still tell you go for the test, because right here we are really thinking about your health and your health. We just want you to be well. So go for the test, because we are very confident that no matter what it is, from if it really is what you're afraid of, then don't worry about it. You beat it once, we'll beat it together again with you. Okay, so go for it. All right, we're with you every Thursday. All right, and if you actually need support, Dr. Jansen is there for your consult. Come and see us on SMX June 7th
Yeah.
Aura. Then you'll see other people who have the same fears with you, and you'll see you can be able to talk to them, and then that will also encourage you. All right. So anyway, you are a winner. You already beat cancer once. So it's nothing that you should be afraid of.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I just want to echo out what our two experts mentioned to you. Now is always the best time to take action on what you are having right now, as early as now. And see you, of course, in SMX. Okay. All right. So,
Sheila, I see a regular, because she has a diamond beside her name, right? So this person says, I have breast cancer stage 2. Okay.
Mhm.
Again, wonderful that you were able to catch it before it spread. And polycystic kidney disease, CKD,
Mhm.
stage 1, which is very early, easily reversible. She asked this thing, is my risk of having kidney cancer high?
Oh.
It's not even related, right, doc?
Actually, it is.
Oh, it is. All
It
right. Okay.
is. It is. Polycystic kidney disease increases risk of renal cancer by at least 2 times
Oh, wow.
compared to the
Wow.
general population who doesn't
But
have polycystic kidney
okay,
disease.
but does her breast cancer impact her odds of developing
The
kidney
polycystic.
cancer?
The
Breast
no,
cancer? No.
the
Okay,
breast
that's what I
cancer
meant.
is totally
That's
not
separate.
related.
Yeah,
Mm.
separate.
Yes, separate. It's totally not related. But of course, you having a diagnosis of breast cancer, the
Means that
breast
your
cancer
immune system is
metastasizing.
compromised, right? So if the breast cancer can develop, a polycystic kidney disease has a chance to develop
Yeah, it can,
into,
it can.
yeah,
But polycystic kidney disease turning into renal cancer takes a long time,
a long
especially
time.
at stage one polycystic kidney disease. No, it takes a long time. Usually it's the end stage polycystic kidney disease that has a very high chance of the kidney becoming renal cancer.
Because so
So
much of it is destroyed. So the mutation risk is
yeah,
higher.
correct, yeah. But stage one, I wouldn't worry too much. I would worry more of the
On the
breast
breast
cancer
cancer.
and the fact that you have polycystic kidney disease. So my advice to you is make sure you have close follow-up with your nephrologist. Make sure the breast cancer is well controlled. Okay. Yeah, so with those two, I think you would be in good hands.
Okay, so I want for this particular viewer, Christine, I just want to highlight one important thing, right? The breast cancer will not cause the kidney cancer. Okay, so if you are thinking because will my breast cancer spread and become a kidney cancer, no, that the answer is there are two separate things. However, because you develop breast cancer, it indicates that your immune system it may be compromised, which is why you develop breast cancer in the first place, right? So with a weaker or immune system with certain compromise that allow the breast cancer to develop, then your polycystic kidney disease has a higher chance that it can develop into kidney cancer. But that takes a long time and you're in stage 1. So Dr. Jansen's advice is just settle your breast cancer because if you fight and beat your breast cancer, your immune system will be strong again, and then you don't have to worry about the developing kidney cancer. But you have to take care of your kidneys, right? So again, I think this is another great example, right, Doc, about how when a person is going for chemotherapy or any oncological therapy, they should do their best through lifestyle changes, through supplements like Simply Nature PPARS, to make sure their body is strong. Because when your body is weak, you are open to another problem, right? So you don't want to, in the fight to destroy the breast cancer, you open the door for other problems, right? This is the case. Doc, we also have, I'm sure you also have, I also have clients where, and yours is patients, where the patient is a cancer patient doing well, then die of pneumonia. Yeah, actually I had a cancer patient doing well, got strong enough. She took a break from chemotherapy because she was not doing well the chemotherapy. Then with Simply Nature PPARS, she was doing well. The cancer tumor was shrinking, and I think they just wanted to do chemotherapy to clean up the cancer cells in her body. And when she went for the chemo, she felt weak after the chemo, and then she caught a flu that developed into pneumonia. It's like wrong timing lang. Just when after a chemo session when her body so fatigued, she actually caught a flu, and then that flu became a pneumonia, and then she didn't die from cancer, she died from pneumonia, right? So this is again trying to highlight what Dr. Jansen is trying to do as an integrative supporting cancer patients, and what we are trying to do is this. Then when you're going through your treatments, don't just focus on the cancer part. You have to pay a lot of attention to strengthening the rest of your body. Don't leave an open door. And for yourself, you know what that risk is, right? Potential kidney cancer. So make sure your kidneys are healthy, your liver is healthy. And how you do that, make sure you don't have metabolic syndromes, right? You make sure your gut microbiome is good. And those are the basics. You get that right, you are basically in the clear. And then after that, what you want to do is just fine tune things to get better and better, right? But we are all with you, and we are very positive because you are stage 2, early. You caught it early, you're already going for treatment, things are gonna. Please update us, come and tell us your good news, all right? Next week or the week after next, the next time you have a scan, and so that we can celebrate with you also.
Or see you in SMX also.
Yes, can see you in SMX, right? Then you can share with us everything, how you're going through. Okay?
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Your answers are very generous. Thank you so much, Sir Sean and Doc Jansen. Let's try to answer more questions tonight. So for the next question, coming from Miss I Maltos. Hi, Doc Jansen. I am diagnosed with breast invasive ductal carcinoma, but no metastasis in liver and lungs. Is it normal to feel muscle spasms from my nape or back neck up to the arms or down to the arms? And then I also feel some tingling sensations in my hands. Is it normal?
Definitely it's not. But here's the two questions that came up in my mind. Is the numbness and tingling sensation, is this due to a spine problem? A spine
Mm.
problem because of abnormalities in the spine itself? Say, for example, this bulge, or there is a nerve impingement because of a disc bulge, or is this because of the breast cancer metastasizing to the spine?
Wow.
Yeah, so these are two questions that I would want to answer. So how would I answer these two questions? Definitely an MRI scan and a bone scan.
Mm.
MRI scan to know the integrity of the spinal cord, the discs inside your spine. Number two, bone scan, a bone scintigraphy scan, to be specific, in order for me to determine if you have bone metastasis from the breast cancer. So these are the two tests that I would look into to check if this tingling sensation of yours is because of the cancer metastasizing to the spine, or it's a mechanical problem in and of itself. It's because of the spine itself, no? So yeah, these are
And
the this is how I would approach it.
she actually has a follow-up question asking if we have or there is a supplement for the bones.
Oh, it's there. Is the
Oh,
Simply Nature
Is
have?
yeah. I mean, okay. For bone health, right? You many people think that if you want strong bones, you take calcium. It's not. The body doesn't really work that way, you know. The body works. The body is very interrelated, right? How many of you notice? I'm just gonna give. I know that this example. If I tell a doctor, the doctor say, "Shen, that's not accurate. That's not an accurate analogy." But I think to let's stretch the analogy a little bit lah. You know, those how many of you really want to get rid of your tummy, right? Your tummy, right? You say you want to get rid of your tummy. We don't care about the fat on our arms or shoulders. We want to get rid of the tummy, for example. You can do 1,000 sit-ups a day. You will never get a six-pack, right? Because the body doesn't burn fat where you exercise. The body decides where it wants to burn the fat, right? So when you do a sit up, yes, the muscles in your abdomen gets stronger, but the fat covering that muscle is still the same layer, so your fat doesn't disappear. What makes your fat disappear is that you burn calories, and your body burns the fat to supply the calories to be burned, right? Now, where the body burns the fat, it's different from everybody. When I start losing weight, the first place that I lose weight is actually my back. That means my lower back, right? So if I get fat, my lower back, there's a tire at my lower back first before anything, and that is the first to go also when I exercise. And why do I say this? So if you want bone to make your bones stronger, you many people think just to take calcium pills. That's not true. Dr. Jansen will share with you, to make your bones stronger, right? You actually have to do weights, right? You got to give your a reason for your body to get stronger. Is there a real need to take something so geared towards the bone in terms of nutrition? I don't think so. But Dr. Johnson may be able to give you more insight. I think taking supplements that are across the board, like Simply Nature PPARS, with calcium and everything, and then eating healthily, and then here's the important thing, triggering bone strength, which is doing weight resistant training. Because if you stress your bone a little, that causes your bone to get stronger. If you don't stress your bone, you can eat all the calcium you want. You will only create problems for your kidney, right? You're gonna get kidney stones. You're gonna get calcification in your body. Too much calcium. Okay, it's because you take the calcium, but you're not using it. It doesn't go to make the bone stronger, right? So maybe, Doc, you want to add to this? Would you really advise people like very bone specific supplements, like concentrated calcium supplements, or would you encourage them to eat like vegetables that are higher in mineral content, and then go to the gym, right? Do some weights. Yeah.
So say for example, a patient needing regenerative treatment, regenerative medicine treatment. So first we have to bones. So what would be the building material? So you need calcium. So you need the minerals, no? Calcium, of course. Number two would be magnesium. You need the trace minerals like molybdenum, boron. So you can get those from supplements.
Yep.
Okay? Another very important factor is you have to get your calcium in your blood. So vitamin D here is very important.
See,
If
that's
you
what I
have,
meant. It's just not calcium. The body works in combination with many moving parts.
Yeah,
So you need
correct.
vitamin D. All right, very good.
Yes. So now, since when the calcium is inside your blood,
Yes.
it's very important for the calcium to go inside your bone and for you not to just pee it out.
Yes. So how does it move from the blood to the bone?
So you need vitamin K2.
Oh, see,
That's
another
one.
vitamin, different. So that's
Yes,
why
it's
all
different
your
vitamin.
calcium pills are not making your
Yeah.
bone stronger.
Now, vitamin K2 is not enough during this point because you actually need the builders. Okay, you have to let your builders know that they need that they have work to do. Okay, so you have to exercise. That's where resistance exercises comes in. Now, for a patient who has osteoporosis, you have to stimulate the workers or the builders, the construction workers, to help
Work.
build the bone, the structure. So you need medications. So medications like denosumab would be one. Okay, so if you're on a denosumab treatment, then definitely you would need more calcium. So calcium demand is up, then you have to make sure that the absorption, the calcium absorption from the diet is sufficiently high. So you just increase vitamin D dose for this reason. Now, if it is still not enough, what else can you do?
Okay.
This is where regenerative therapies like stem cells and exosomes can come in. So stem cells are cells which can become anything. Okay? Stem cells are cells which can become any other cells inside your body. So when stem cells are given inside your body, and if the stem cells go to your bones, no, since that is assuming that is where they go to, then the stem cells will also become bone cells. So that's one way to build, no. Now, stem cells can be quite expensive because one session, a legitimate stem cell treatment, no, one session can reach millions of pesos. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the price is very prohibitive. So what else can you do? You can actually use exosomes instead. So exosomes are what? Exosomes are what stem cells use to communicate. It is what stem cells use to help build something. So yeah, those are exosomes. So we can just give you exosomes and the exosomes will go to the bone to help it grow. Yeah, so those are treatments, more advanced treatments, no, that we have. So those are your options.
So I want to share. I mean, Doc Jansen gave the high end. I want to talk to all the viewers who have a financial limitation. And when I say financial limitation, it's because the high end is really high end. We're talking, as Doc Jansen said, for my bone to become stronger, millions? Yeah, millions. All right, not many of us think that 50,000, 100,000 is expensive. No, doc just dropped a bomb, millions, okay, for actual stem cells. But I think here's the thing, final question to you, doc, is that, so if a person like takes all these medications and everything, and they really just stay at home and sleep or sit down, don't really supplements, right? You have to strengthen your bones. Yes, take the supplements, take the medication, but you actually have to go and do some weights. Okay. You really weights, that's the only way you strengthen your bones. There's no other way. The only other thing that you do with all these supplements and anything is to slow down the deterioration, but it's not going to reverse the condition unless it's just like building muscle. You can pump all the steroids you want, you still have to go to the gym. All the people who abuse steroids are actually gym rats. That what I mean is that there are people who go to the gym 10 hours a day. That's why they're pumping, injecting steroids. Nobody gets big just injecting steroids. Okay, you still have to go to the gym to become big. So I hope this really answers and settles this aspect of bone health, because we have many viewers who ask about bone health. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sir Shyan. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. It's actually all the time that we've got today, so this will be our last question for tonight.
Yeah,
So
wait, it says that the live video has ended. Has it really ended? Or is it my thing? Oh, okay, it's still on. Sorry.
Yeah, it should be
Yes.
still going.
Okay.
So for our last question for tonight, coming from Ms. Moreno. Okay, Doc, if the lump in cervix has already grown, can it affect the rectal area, and can it swell? Also, if I am taking pain reliever, is there possibility that it can also affect my kidney, even if I'm already taking PPARS?
Okay. Very good question. So the first one first, no? You have a tumor in the cervix and it grew in size. Definitely, it can affect the rectum. There are actually two organs that it will affect immediately. First is your bladder. So you have your cervix, right? The cervix is at the center. Above it is the bladder, urinary bladder. Below it is the rectum. So I have had patients, so cervical cancer patients, wherein the rectum and the vagina formed a fistula. So the fistula is a tunnel connecting the rectum and the vagina. I'll repeat that. Try to imagine. I know it's gross, but try to imagine. There is a tunnel connecting the vagina and the rectum. So, when the patient poops, the poop also comes out the vagina. Okay, so
Wow.
that's a connection. That's the fistula. Okay, the fistula is a medical term. The more common term there is a tunnel developed between the two canals.
Wow.
It can affect so. Are also situations wherein the cervical mass grew so big that it compressed the rectum and the patient can have difficulty passing stool.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so it can also happen. Another situation is where the tumor in the cervix grows sufficiently large enough that it eats the meat between the vagina and the rectum. I know it's gross, but it can eat the meat separating those two canals as well. So
Then they
the
become
cervical
one.
mass, the cervical mass will just eat it away and grow into the rectum. Yeah.
Oh,
There are also situations like that, no? But those situations are really, really bad. Okay. Now, I'll wait for you to react. Then let's answer the second question.
okay.
Okay. Let's move on. Now, uh, second question.
Yeah.
If you are on a pain reliever and you're on PPARS, can the pain reliever harm your kidney? The answer is it depends. It depends what kind of pain reliever you're taking and the dose as well, and how often you're taking the medication and for how long you been taking it already. So I'll give you an example. NSAIDs, long-term use of NSAIDs. NSAIDs examples would be ibuprofen, mefenamic acid, and the likes, no? Yeah. Those can harm the kidneys if you're taking them for long periods of time at very high doses. Another class of drug would be the COX-2 inhibitors. So these would be your celecoxib and your etoricoxib or your arcoxia. Too high of a dose can harm your kidneys. So it's very important for you to make sure to tone them down. You need them, but you have to tone them down, or you can use multiple pain relievers at low doses. So one such example would be a combination of tramadol and paracetamol. So that would be a more tolerable combination for the kidneys. That's also the go-to pain reliever for patients who have cancer. Okay. Uh, Another combination that might work would be a combination of tramadol and dexkitoprofen. Yeah, so that's also an NSAID, but they combined it with tramadol. It's a more powerful analgesic, but we usually reserve that for severe pain. Now, if this is still not enough, then we will need the opioids already. Opioids more powerful than tramadol. So examples would be your morphine, um, fentanyl, these powerful pain relievers. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Sir Shyan, would you like to add anything? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, sir.
No, I'm fine. I just going through this one. There is this last question, because this one is quick and simple. Wei Jie own. How can a stage 4 rectal cancer patient who is undergoing chemotherapy benefit from PPARS? Are there any patients of similar profile survive through PPARS? So just a quick answer. I don't want you to end this without answering this. The answer is yes. Okay, if you're undergoing chemotherapy, then when you take PPARS protocol, I will not emphasize so much about how PPAR helps you fight cancer. All right. Instead, I will, but it does, but I'm not going to focus on that. Instead, I'm going to focus on the PPAR protocols is to help prevent myelosuppression, which is the suppressing of your bone marrow cells, which keeps your red blood cell, white blood cell count high. Now, you need your red blood cell, white blood cell counts to be normal in order for you to continue your oncological treatments. So when we talk to oncologists, the first thing that we will focus on is that they use our products to help maintain their patients to be strong and well enough to go through chemotherapy. Okay, so that's the first benefit. All right. Next, your question is, are there any patients of similar profile survive through with PPARS? The answer is yes. There are many. In fact, what would be helpful to you is this. We actually, Dr. Jansen himself has patients who could not go through chemotherapy because they were not reacting well or they were too weak. After going on the PPARS, right, they were able to go through their chemotherapy. So I believe since you're undergoing chemotherapy, you already chose chemotherapy as your main attack weapon to fight cancer. So I'm focusing on how PPARS can support. And of course, Sheila, our host today, is another good example. Her son went through how many sessions? 38 sessions of chemotherapy and radiation therapy, right? Half of the children who went through the same treatment as Dominic, Sheila's son, didn't make it. But Sheila's son was on liquid PPARS throughout his whole 1-2 year process where he went through so many chemotherapy and radiation therapy. So the good news is Dominic is in full remission. His was 4th stage nasopharyngeal or nose cancer. Okay, and right now, of course, Dominic actually missed school because of he had to fight his illness. He had to fight cancer. He went through, and then he actually, the last time I talked to him, he was saying, he's not first in his school. He's only second in his school. Okay, wow. So you can see, survivor, the ones that went through such crazy amount of chemotherapy, yet came out, with the most important aspects of their life still in place. I hope that's encouraging to you. So just message us so that you can find out more. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. All right. Well, for those questions tonight that we weren't able to answer, don't worry because we'll have it answered privately, or maybe ask them next week, because please stay tuned because I'll be announcing 2 events that we'll be having this coming week. Now, as we wrap up this evening, we would love to hear your final thoughts for our viewers. Who would like to start off? Shall we have Dr. Jansen?
Yeah, so everyone, thank you for attending, and it has been a wonderful discussion again.
Yes.
Actually, this is not surprising anymore. We always get new questions, so every single time. We've been doing this for how long already? 4 years now? Am I? Yeah.
Yeah, Doc.
So
Over 200
yeah, and
episodes.
over 200 episodes. Wow. So we always get new questions
Amazing.
every single week. Really amazing, really amazing. Which this is also one reason why I really enjoy my job as a doctor, because I get to see interesting things, no, every single day. Always something new. Aside, so talking about some the more important things, no. For cancer patients, always remember that there's always something we can do for your case. Don't lose hope, especially for those patients who are at stage 4 already. So that last person who asked the question, no, the stage 4 rectal cancer, I actually am managing a rectal cancer patient right now, stage 4. The patient actually has lungs and liver metastasis. Initially presented to me with 80,000, CA19-9 of 80,000, went down to 50,000.
Wow.
The CEA was 30, went down to, what was the number again? Yeah, went down to 11.
Wow.
Then this last month, April 2025, went down to 4.8. Imaging scan shows less and less. It shows tumor shrinkage, so response to treatment. So it's really, really very encouraging. I'm actually in contact with his wife, who is a doctor, a military doctor here in the Philippines. So it's both of us that are coordinating his treatment. So really very encouraging results, even for stage 4 cancer patients. So I hope this inspires patients watching us right now for not to lose hope. Okay, not to lose hope, especially for those patients who are still strong. Okay, we also have to draw a line somewhere for us not to give false hope. So, yeah, that would be my final words tonight. I'll give the floor to Shen. Good
Thank you
night,
so
Yeah,
much.
everyone. Good night.
Thank you,
thank
though.
you. Not only are we do we enjoy your questions, I actually enjoy the growth me and Doc Johnson experience, right, over the last 4 years. Doc Johnson has added so much more to his knowledge and profile, and so have I. And a lot is stimulated by the questions that you guys asked on this program. All right. I even went on to take on TCM because at some point we have viewers asking us questions in that direction. All right. So yeah. So thank you very much. Again, like what Dr. Johnson said, we really want to encourage you. And we want to help you. I hope this program helps you take that courageous step forward to move forward, especially the viewer that shared today. I just really want one last encouraging word, and I want to end on that note. The viewer who said that she beat breast cancer
Yes.
and in 2015, and now in 2025 she feels a bit of pain. I just want to encourage her again, and this is our philosophy right here on our program. We're not here trying to push any protocol or product on you. We want to give you good advice from the bottom of our hearts, and that's our intention. So what we always say on the program, there are many powerful tools to help you beat cancer, but you've got to get ready and face it quickly, right? Because early cancer success rate is 90%. Stage 4 cancer success rate drops to 30%. From 95% to 30%, it's a huge difference. So we want to see you get well. And we are confident that you will get well. So quickly take action tonight, be it to have a consult with Dr. Jansen or to have a consult with an appropriate doctor to have you know your diagnosis and just take steps forward. And every step that you take forward, whenever you're not sure, we're always with you here on Ask Questions again, and we can walk this journey with you. So with that, thank you for being with us, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Sheila?
Thank you.
Oh,
Wow.
join us for SMX Aura in person.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sir Fan. Wow. Tonight was actually very, very productive. On behalf of our patients and our viewers, thank you so much, Dr. Jansen Kalalan and Mr. Shyan Lim, for answering our questions for tonight. And we are so super looking forward to your answers next week. Now, of course, thank you also to everyone for joining us today. Remember that taking action in your cancer journey is a powerful step toward healing and strength. We hope that you feel empowered to make informed decisions and take control of your path forward. Now, if you or your loved one is battling any type of cancer or any health issue at all, remember, science is evolving and new treatments are emerging all the time. Keep informed and explore all available options. So don't forget to like our Facebook page, Simply Nature International, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is also to make sure that you get updated with our latest promos and events. Now, listen carefully because I have a question for you. Can biopsy make a cancer spread? Or is your body strong enough to survive the surgery? Well, we are calling all cancer patients, survivors, and advocates. This is the moment to gear up and reclaim your freedom from fear and uncertainty of this illness. Happening this June 7 at SMX SM Aura or Aura, okay, at 8 a.m. is the face-to-face Simply Nature Health Seminar entitled Freedom from Cancer, Latest Strategies and Live Panel with Leading Experts. Our panel of experts is composed of PPARS expert, lifestyle medicine doctor, integrative doctor, and surgical oncologist. Take advantage of the face-to-face AMA portion with them, where you can ask your questions to our doctors live during the event. Now, tickets are available. You can also buy your tickets online through our website. So what are you waiting for? Buy your tickets to this exciting event now. Because we have an exciting lineup of promos, including our exclusive for direct and website orders only. So because you can get a free bottle of PPARS tablet that is worth 1,950 if you buy the PPARS liquid extract. Now, if you buy the jar of PPARS powder extract, you will get 5 sachets of Cleansing Plus for free. Guys, that is worth 800 pesos, 5 days worth of detoxing. Now, another exciting promo is that you will get a free extra SGBR soft gel capsule blister if you buy 3 individual soft gel capsules via direct and via website. Now, amazing, right? Now, so once again, this promo is up until May 31 only. Okay, so, but wait, there's more. Due to insistent demand, we are having another round of 3-day free shipping if you buy a minimum of 3,700 via website. That is happening from May 14, 15, and 16. So please visit our website. That's www.simplynature.asia. Okay, experience the benefits of PPARS at an unbeatable price, because now is always the time to get the best health, not only for yourself, but for your whole family. Now, we hope to see you once again in our future webinars to come, because next week, May 14, is another episode of our new series, Simply Nature Answers. Once again, this is happening on a Wednesday, 4 p.m. So if you've been curious about how Simply Nature PPARS products can make a difference in your health journeys, SNA is a perfect program for you. Another exciting event next week. Next week's episodes is Simply Healed webinar happening on May 15, Thursday also, entitled Beyond the Lump. Now that is once again same day, same time, every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. All right. Well, thank you so much once again for spending your time with us today, because your commitment to healing inspires us. Remember that every step you take is a step forward, and you don't have to walk with this journey alone. This is Simply Healed webinar powered by SMG and SNI, because your curiosity about your health conditions and your victories over cancer and metabolic illnesses are what keeps us going. Because here in Simply Nature, we're always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all.
Hi everyone, Shyan here. I'm very excited to announce our very first face-to-face in-person meeting for 2025. Freedom from Cancer. We will be exploring the latest strategies on fighting cancer, and there will be a live panel with the leading experts. You're going to have exclusive access to get straight answers to your cancer questions. On the panel will be myself to answer any questions you may have about the Simply Nature PPARS protocol. We have Dr. Jimmy Katapia, one of the top surgeons in Metro Manila, who will answer all your questions about surgery. Last but certainly not least is Dr. Jansen the top specialist in supporting cancer treatments. All three of us will be there answering your questions together. So no more confusion, no more conflicting answers. You will get clarity on June 7th, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. SMX Aura. And also there will be cancer survivors who will be there to share their story and how they succeeded in fighting cancer. So once again, see you all June 7th, SMX Aura.